Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 49. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 9th of January 2013. Beginning with my first 5, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth and insight on these, starting with, at number 1, Walking Dead number 106. Now the solicit for this book is simply revenge. Now whether that's revenge for the events in number 100, or revenge for the events that have occurred since then, remains to be seen. Discussing the death of characters in the book, Robert Kirkman recently said, quote, "Both Charlie and I grow attached to these characters, and it affects us the same way as it affects the readers. When I'm writing scripts, I usually do become upset, and sometimes it's nerve-wracking because I plot everything out and I know what's coming. When I'm actually writing the script, I'm experiencing the story in real time to some extent. When Charlie reads the scripts, he likes to keep things vague so he doesn't ask questions about what's coming up. He gauges the series based on his reading of the script and how he experiences it. He's able to experience it fresh, and it helps him move forward. It's very emotional for all of us." Close quote. Robert's always said that nobody's safe in the book, but does that include the main character Rick? Kirkman says, quote, "Yeah, Rick could go at any time. I think Carl could carry the book now. I know that there are interesting stories I could do with him, Andrea, and Michonne. To a certain extent, I think it'd be interesting to follow Negan for a little bit and see what that story would be like. I definitely think Rick has been the anchor for this series and may be the anchor for the series for a long time. I do have plans for him and I know where his story is going, but I promise that Rick will not survive the entire run of the book. I think the book will go past 300 issues at this point. Charlie and I absolutely love what we're doing, and it's exactly the thing I've wanted to do since I wanted to do comics. I'm having the time of my life. This book is going to go on for a long time, and no one is safe, not even Rick." Close quote. At number 2, we've got Superior Spider-Man number 1. Peter Parker spent a lifetime living up to the responsibilities his powers foisted upon him, but his amazing story finally ended dramatically in the historic Spider-Man number 700. The new Amazing Spider-Man has arrived, and he's better in every single way. Smarter, stronger, superior. So this might be a slight spoiler for those who haven't read Amazing Spider-Man number 700 or heard about those events yet, but series writer Dan Slott explains that this book, quote, "is Doc Ock getting a second chance at life, and not just any kind of second chance. He gets to be this young, athletic, handsome superhero with a great job and respect who's a member of the superhero community. He gets to be accepted in ways that Otto Octavius never was, and in a weird way, the final gift that Peter Parker gives him is the lesson of great power and great responsibility. So now he's been sent on the right path, but we all know that he's that arrogant, egotistical Dr. Otto Octavius. What's going to happen now? He's going to try to be a superhero. He's going to try to take this new lease on life and use it for good. But he's Doc Ock, so of course he's going to do it through his own lens. That's going to be an interesting journey. This Spider-Man is going to have to prove to the reader that he's a hero, and that's an exciting journey." Close quote. Now, referring to the reaction to Amazing Spider-Man number 700 and the transition to Superior Spider-Man number 1, Slott says, quote, "In the first issue, there's another trick up our sleeve. You're just going to have to wait and read Superior number 1. I'm not so worried about anyone who says 700 is my jumping off point. I'm not worried because I know that when word gets out and they hear what happens in Superior number 1, they're definitely going to want to pick it up." Close quote. At number 3 this week, we've got Ultimate Comics X-Men number 21. The Reservation X story continues, guest starring Iron Patriot. What's the sentient seed and why does everyone want it? Series writer Brian Wood said the current storyline, quote, "What I'm writing now in Ultimate Comics X-Men is what I came on board the series to write. The Reservation X / Natural Resources / X-War trifecta of arcs that you'll get next is basically my pitch. I'm just getting to them now." As for his approach, Wood said, "When coming up with new stories, I'm not looking to the past for clues or old stories to build off or riff on. I'm coming in as a new guy who just wants to write some X-Men stories in the classic world that hates and fears them mode. For me, that's what I enjoy most. Getting to write that theme any way I can. The X-Men are still so fresh to me, and I think I can find fresh stories purely within that original high concept." Close quote. At number 4, we've got Wolverine and the X-Men number 23. Wolverine vs. Frankenstein, the murder circus claims its victims. Series writer Jason Aaron spoke recently about his plans for the characters in the series. Quote, "I'll continue to focus for the most part on the core cast of the students that I've already established, along with some new additions, but we'll also be seeing some of the previous generations of X-Kids popping up here and there in different roles. Rockslide is currently playing a big role in the Murder Circus arc, and Annalee, Armor, and some of the other kids recently took control of Worthington Industries. Yes, I would like to start finding roles for some of these kids beyond just being in school forever. That doesn't mean they're all suddenly become X-Men, though. And yes, I understand that every character is someone's favorite, but you also have to recognize the need for each new generation of X-fans to have their own entry point characters, the characters who are first experiencing the world of the X-Men at the same time you are. With the overall cast that I've put together for the series, I've very intentionally chose characters from several different eras of X-Men history, but it wouldn't be complete without a few all-new characters as well. And judging by the angry emails and tweets I got when I shot Brew screw in the head, people have really responded to some of these new guys, which I greatly appreciate. Close quote. And at number 5, we've got Detective Comics number 16, a Death of the Family tie-in. As the Joker continues to wreak havoc on the Dark Knight and his allies, Batman is forced to cut a deal with the Penguin, one that'll come back to haunt both of them when a new villain interferes. And in the backup story, Ignatius Ogilvy usurps the Penguin's throne and decides to lead the underworld crime lords in the Penguin's place. Series writer John Layman recently explained his take on the book, quote, "I never thought I'd be writing Batman and I didn't think I was going to last. I'm 7 issues in and they want me to do more. I was like, I thought I'd be fired by now. So I just want to grab as many characters as I can and have fun with them. And I try with all my books to make you not trade weight and make each issue satisfactory. It's called Detective Comics. Let's make every issue a case. So I'm channel flipping around with the villains, and by the time the 4th or 5th issue comes around, we'll get to some new ones. My plan is to give you your $3.99's worth with a backup story that actually complements the issue and really makes it worth your time." Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 this week at number 6, we've got Guarding the Globe number 5. Britt and his wife Jessica have a date night. What can go wrong? Answer: everything. Enter the Walking Dread. He's an unstoppable killing machine who doesn't care how long it's been since you've had a lovely evening with your wife. All this and a surprising confession from Kaboomerang that you won't believe. At number 7, we've got Mind the Gap number 7, Wish You Were Here Part 2. Join the mystery everyone's talking about as Dane and Joe try to find a way to clear his name. Someone else is sitting pretty, unaware that this is merely the calm before the storm for them. And after Elle's latest possession, will Dr. Geller and Detective Wallace be able to set aside the science and facts to start trusting the supernatural? At number 8, we've got Peter Panzerfaust number 8, Paris Part 3. Time is against the Lost Boys and they only have one shot to save Felix before he's shipped to Germany. Only one problem. How do you stop a speeding train? At number 9, we've got Thunderbolts number 3. The Thunderbolts are tearing their way through a bloody mission, but will even this crew approve of the team's newest member? Yeah, that's right, the Red Leader. And at number 10, from Dark Horse Comics, we've got Star Wars number 1. This is a new Star Wars series by writer Brian Wood. This is Star Wars as you remember it and as you've never seen it before. We're taking you back to those heady adventure-filled days following the destruction of the Death Star, when the Empire ruled, the rebels were on the run, and the galaxy was a dangerous place where anything could happen. In addition to featuring writer Brian Wood, this also includes artist Carlos DeAndy, who did Batman Arkham City, and covers by Alex Ross. For the best of the rest this week from DC Comics, we've got Action Comics number 16, The Man of Steel versus the worst foe the multiverse has ever seen, Super Doom, a demon Superman from an alternate universe. With the little man's true identity revealed, learn more about his plan and why he hates Superman so much. And in the backup story, a spotlight on a key moment from Superman's climactic battle with the anti-Superman army. We've also got Animal Man number 16, Rot World, The Red Kingdom Part 4. Animal Man has Constantine, Steel, Black Orchid, Beast Boy, Frankenstein, and a whole army of patchwork men and women at his back. But is it enough to go up against Anton Arcane at the heart of the Rot? Team Red sets off from Metropolis to recruit a powerful new ally. We've got Batwing number 16. David refuses one bribe too many, and now the police have issued a hit on him. It's Batwing versus the corrupt police force of Tunisia. Can Batwing save his alter ego and the innocents who are caught in the crossfire? We've got Earth 2 number 8. The alien war criminal Steppenwolf returns. It's been 5 years since he led the forces of Apocalypse against Earth. Learn what he's been up to since then. Plus, what's the dark secret behind the last Amazon of Earth 2? We got Green Arrow number 16. Green Arrow must liberate Seattle's waterfront from the grip of Harrow, a thug who's running guns in the city. Things may seem dire for Green Arrow as he loses his grip on his town and his company, but if he's going down, he's going down fighting. We've got Phantom Stranger number 4. John Constantine and Justice League Dark are about to learn the hard way why it's never a good idea to make the Phantom Stranger angry. But why do the defenders against the Dark Arts need the Stranger's presence in the first place? We've got Swamp Thing number 16, Rot World, The Green Kingdom races towards its epic conclusion. It's Swamp Thing versus Rot Monster as Superman, as Arcane's ultimate plan is revealed. What sacrifice must Swamp Thing make to cleanse the Earth of the Rot? And what secret did Batman leave behind in the ruins of Gotham City? We've got World's Finest number 8. Power Girl and Huntress have been searching for a connection to their world, Earth 2, for years. But now they've kicked a hornet's nest of trouble and the hunters become the hunted. From Marvel Comics this week, we've got Avengers Arena number 3, X-23 versus Annihilation's Cammy, a mysterious opponent versus Avengers Academy's Sentinel, who is the killer stalking the competitors in their sleep, plus Darkhawk equals death. We've got Cable and X-Force number 3, where has Colossus been to post-AVX and what's wrong with his powers? Why are Cable and his team attacking a civilian company? These mysteries and more are revealed. We've got Fantastic Four number 3, A New Year and a New World. The Richards family rings in 365 days of adventures on a brand new planet. Someone's having second thoughts. Really? Already? How long can Reed keep his secret? How long can anything be kept secret when you're traveling through time and space with your family? We've got Punisher Nightmare number 2 with the same solicit as last week. A Special Forces soldier is injured and his family killed in the midst of a mob execution in Central Park, but this isn't Frank Castle. This time it's a young soldier named Jake Neiman. But the familiar story puts Frank on the path of punishment. As Jake Neiman heals from his wounds, why is he growing strangely stronger? And who is the mysterious Johnny Nightmare? Bullets fly, anarchy reigns, allies become enemies, and the Punisher becomes the punished, and no one is safe. We've also got Punisher Warzone number 3, The Punisher vs. Thor, enough said. We've got Scarlet Spider number 13, In the Midst of the Wolves, part 1 of 3, brand new arc. Mysteries come to light as a threat from Mexico comes for Rasley, the girl Scarlet Spider saved in issue 1. An old foe of Spider-Man's returns, the mutant werewolf Carlos Lobo, and he's not alone. Plus, what's the secret of Kane's new powers? How did he come to life after the grim hunt? The answers begin here as everything changes for the man called Kane. We've got Secret Avengers number 36. In the core, Venom and Valkyrie set out on a mission to kill Father. In New York, the Master Mold rises and the only way to stop him is to kill the Torch. Black Ant versus Hawkeye, the final showdown. We've got Thor God of Thunder number 4. Thousands of years in the future, the last God King of a ruined Asgard makes his final stand against the Berserker Legion and the God Butcher. But even a king can fall, even King Thor. We've got X-Men Legacy number 4. Legion versus the X-Men. 2 new villains begin plotting Legion's demise, and little does he know one of them is lurking within his own psyche, and the other is now hiding amongst the X-Men themselves. From Dark Horse this week, we've got Ghost number 3. Ghost finally discovers her true name and identity. As they investigate the mysterious disappearance surrounding a crystal-powered box, Ghost and her accomplices, Vaughn and Tommy, uncover a shocking conspiracy that stretches deep into Chicago's history of political corruption. The stage is set for Ghost's confrontation with the demonic mastermind who pulls all the strings, if Dr. October doesn't get to her first. From IDW, we've got Doctor Who number 4, the second issue in a special 2-part story featuring the art of Philip Bond. With the Doctor and Rory on a boys' night out gone wrong, Amy must face the silence on her own. All that plus lots of beer. From Image, we've got Think Tank Military Dossier number 1. Get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the process of the hottest new title from Minotaur Press. Hack into the classified personnel files of slacker genius Dr. David Lauren and all the other characters you know and love from behind the concrete barricades of a DARPA-contracted think tank. School yourself on the extended science class that further explores the real-world science behind the Reaper drones, guided bullets, and much, much more never-before-seen tech. Cheaper than tuition to Caltech, it's like breaking into a black box, but more fun. From Valiant Comics, we've got Shadowman number 3, Down and Out in the Dead Side. Jack Boniface, the new Shadowman, finds himself trapped in the Dead Side with no hope of rescue, and on the run from the otherworldly horrors that dwell there. Meanwhile, his new friends and allies are at the mercy of Mr. Twist, whose plan to restore Master Dark is very near complete. But Jack is about to find help from some very strange and very unexpected sources. Out in trades this week, we've got Carnage, Minimum Carnage trade paperback. Carnage is back, and bigger ain't necessarily better. Scarlet Spider and Venom collide as the hunt for Carnage begins, taking both heroes to a place you'll never believe, the Microverse. Cletus Cassidy has found a whole new world to terrorize, and stranded on this alien planet, Scarlet Spider and Venom must work together to defeat him. But can the volatile heroes get along? Flash Thompson may not know who the Scarlet Spider is, but does the Venom symbiote? And can Scarlet triumph over the monster within himself in time to face the monstrous Carnage? The Micronauts join in the Webslingers' battle to save the universe, but in the process the heroes may have doomed their own. This title collects Minimum Carnage Alpha and Omega, Venom 26 and 27, and Scarlet Spider 10, 11, and 12.1. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, tomorrow's Avengers trade paperback. 1,000 years from now, Vance Astro, Yondu, Martinex, and Charlie 27, the Guardians of the Galaxy, rise to retake Earth from reptilian raiders. But they're not just building on the heroism of past centuries, they're recruiting from it. Captain America, Doctor Strange, The Thing, the Hulk, and more join the star-spanning heroes in the greatest war the future ever saw. Then, as the Guardians help a planet in turmoil rebuild, threats rise from 2 other worlds, one of them living and the other gone mad. It's cosmic action as you like it, as the Avengers of Tomorrow face their baptism of fire, featuring the introduction of Nikki and the origin of Starhawk, guest starring the Silver Surfer. This title collects Marvel Superheroes 18, Marvel 2-in-1, 4 and 5, Giant Size Defenders number 5, Defenders number 26 through 29, and Marvel Presents 3 through 12. We've got Powers Volume 7 Forever hardcover, The Origin of Powers, the story that literally spans the history of man as the mysteries of the Powers and the Powers universe unfold, following a lone warrior's trek through the greatest stories ever told. This completely redesigned and reformatted hardcover includes the entire script to the controversial Powers number 31 and a look at Michael Avon Oeming's research and sketch work for every era. This collects Powers number 31 through 37. And last, we've got Harbinger Volume 1, Omega Rising trade paperback. Superpowered teenager Peter Stanchek is on a dangerous path, skipping across the country in a desperate attempt to stay one step ahead of the authorities. Peter is quickly realizing that he's a psionically charged Harbinger with the potential to reshape the course of human history. But Peter's plight has not gone unnoticed. Respected philanthropist and fellow Harbinger Toyo Harada is about to offer Peter the chance of the things for which the boy has always longed: family, inner peace, self-control, and induct him into the sprawling secret network of conspiracy and subversion known as the Harbinger Foundation. Now Peter begins his long road towards a destiny that will shake the very foundations of the Valiant universe. His first lesson: all power comes with a price. Collecting the first 5 issues of the critically acclaimed series. Okay, so that's it for this week, but there's still plenty more books available at your local comic book shop, so be sure to check them out and see what else you might be interested in. You can let me know if there's a book that I'm overlooking on my Facebook page at he'sgotissues.com, where I track the books I read as I read them, and you can also find me at theleagueofnerds.com, where David, Brandon, and I share everything in nerd entertainment. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.